Jagrasvapnasushuptishu sputataram yasam vidajrumpate ya brahmati pipilikantatanushu prota jagat sakshini saivaham nacha drishyavastviti dridha prajnapi yasyasti chet chandalostu sadadvijostu gururit yesha manisha mama. One who has the clear understanding or the firm understanding, unshaken understanding that he is not the seen, but he is the very awareness which is the basis of all states like waking, dream and deep sleep. And he is the very life spark in all beings from the creator until an ant. And he is the sole witness of the entire universe. He alone is my guru, whether he is a sweeper or a Brahmin. Indeed, this indeed is my deep conviction. This is from Manisha Panchakam of Adi Shankaracharya.
Thank you. This knowledge can only come when we understand that whatever we think what we are is not true. You know, Bhagavan went to quite extreme to explain this. Once on Deepavali, Bhagavan was asked to write something. And he wrote that the one who thinks I am this body is the Narkasur, demon of hell. And then identification of oneself as this body, he lives in hell. The day one realizes he is the self, pure self, not the body, is Deepavali, is the day of celebration. When you're out of these three states of mind, Jagrat, waking, Swapan and Sushupti, dream and deep sleep. These are states of mind, not you. People talk about hell and heaven. And after death of the body, people want to go to heaven. But Bhagavan says living in this body as body is hell. And the one who believes he is this body is a demon. Is a demon while we think we are enjoying this demonship. How much ignorant fools we are. All our life, this body, what we think we are, we keep pleasing this body, knowing that everyone who thinks he is this body is leaving. Every day, so many people die. The body becomes a corpse. All our life we have served this body like a slave. Night and day we worry about this body. Night and day we indulge in its sense organs to please it, to fulfill it. And one day it all finishes. This body becomes a dead body, but because of our illusion, we get another body. Again, we treat that body as us. We don't even pause to reflect, to understand the truth. And the biggest reason is we don't see anyone who is challenging body identification. Not common man, not scientist, not priest in the temple, no one. And we have no grace to challenge it. And most importantly, we are so much attached to it that we love this illusion, though it causes all the suffering. We want this illusion, I am the body, to stay, but get some peace, some happiness. But definitely that cannot be eternal happiness. Understand unless this identification goes away, you cannot realize self. If our energy is in indulgence, there is no dispassion, no vairagya, and there is no longing to know the self, mumukshutva, intense longing. It will never happen. I can tell you very clearly and honestly that if you take it as a lecture, And just knowing it in your leisurely mind, you will never get it. Don't waste your time, and better to indulge in this worldly life rather than sitting and listening. To die while living in the body is not easy. It is tapas. You have to bring all your energy, which is going outwardly in your actions, in your bondages, in your indulgence, back to the source. Who will bring back to the source? Your dispassion, your no interest, uninterested actions. Same action can have two different consequences. An action done with attachment, desires, attraction will be a bondage, and the action which just comes to you unattached, disinterested, and all your attention is in your heart, that has no effect on you. Yesterday, a seeker asked me that his daughter, who is a clinical psychologist, thinks he is depressed or he has anhedonia because he has no interest in anything. If you pick up the classification of depression, signs and symptoms of depression, it ticks all the boxes for a spiritual seeker. You cannot differentiate. The whole world thinks this person is a fool because all attachment to the body is gone, to the sense organs is gone. You know, there is a beautiful term in Sanskrit and in Hindi, udasin bhav, which means you have no interest in anything. But if this word is corrupted in Hindi, udas means depression only, sad. Don't take Supreme as an object. As we watch a movie to get some entertainment, we eat a nice dish to get some taste and feel good. These momentary states of what you call as happiness, you cannot compare with that Supreme. You have to withdraw like a tortoise going back into the shell. Go into the cave of your heart to meet your beloved. But if your one tentacle is into some indulgence and the other into doing this, and I have to achieve this, you can never know that. Who wants sensory indulgence? Who wants name? Who wants fame? Who wants to achieve? Who? Who is this doer? Who has this burden? Who is the one who has burden of all responsibilities? Though this doer is an illusion, but this illusion can stay for millions of years if you don't challenge it. Every night we sleep, we get up, we go through deep sleep and then waking. And this cycle continues. We hardly have glimpse of that pure bliss, pure self. Surrender is the key. But who will surrender to whom? Surrender your ego to Absolute. Because you have no clue about the Absolute in you, and you think you are the body, you are the form, then best is to surrender to a form. And on surrendering to form, you become formless. And that form can be anything for anyone, doesn't matter. But you should have complete faith, reverence, love, devotion, dedication. Then you surrender on the feet of that form. You can call it Jesus, you can call it Shiva, doesn't matter. That form can be in your mind or it could be real as Arunachala. It could be picture of Bhagavan. It could be anything on which you can bow down completely. If you have tried very hard to know that Supreme, then use the other method. Surrender. To gain some grace, to get into the energy field of Absolute. Mind, which has given you everything in this world, is useless in this task. Actually, mind is the one which you have to surrender, which has to dissolve. Because this instrument is the cause of restlessness, and it leads to all the demons in us: anger, greed, jealousy, fear, anxiety. And this can go only in two ways. There is no third way. Either you surrender it to some form or formless on which you have complete faith, or know the self within, so it merges in it. You cannot know the self through projection of the mind. You have to go behind this projector. You cannot be dancing like a body knowing the truth. For this, you don't have to kill the body. You only have to realize this ghost living in this body, thinking I am the body and I am the mind. And acting like an organism, spreading its tentacles to feed, to enjoy, to create suffering to others for its own enjoyment. You are not an organism. You are not an individual living in the body. If you think you are an individual, yes, then you will stay like that forever. Only change of bodies will happen. And that individual is only reflection through the mind. Source is still, Source is uninvolved, and Source is everything. And Source is in everything. We call things as living and non-living. Tell me an atom in non-living is also in motion. It has a nucleus, it has electrons revolving around the nucleus. Where that energy comes to revolve, how can you say it is non-living when there is motion there? Who is creating that motion? When you mix two chemicals, there is a blast, there is fume, there is some reaction. What is that reaction? Is it dead? That source plays itself in so many different ways. It is our mind which classifies living, non-living. There are things in the middle which we don't know. Sometimes we think they are living, sometimes we think they are non-living. Everything is moving from the same source. If the individual wants to know the source, he has to give up that role completely. And giving up that role means giving up your doership. Keeping quiet because it is the ego which wants to say something, argue with people, put its own interest in things, wants its own say. Watch from that absolute how this is manifesting, how we react, how we are conditioned by mind. When you start witnessing, you start detaching from the body mind, and you have a gap. And you start living life without any intention. You retire, you give away, but still body functions and things happens. Sometimes better than before. Sometimes you leave everything, but you should be in acceptance mode. And don't create thoughts in your mind to experience the truth. Truth is not an experience. Truth is you, but you not as an individual. Don't hate this body. Just know that you are not the body. Body means everything. Body has 5 sheets. You are none of them. It is your breath, mind, intellect, your ignorance, everything is that. But you are beyond that. If you can give up identity right now you are free. Right now you are self-realized. Right now you are Shiva. If you are sincere, if you are honest, truth will be revealed to you by the grace of Absolute. Because He conceals and He reveals. He made us individual. He made us ignorant. And we love this ignorance, so we stay ignorant. But the moment we want to know the pure, our reality, and He is merciful, so He showers His grace on us and pulls us out of this. An individual can never do that. Individual can climb Mount Everest, can go to space, can create a war or a nuclear bomb or build palaces or whatever. But individual can never know the truth. Why a scientist cannot know the truth? Because same rule applies to scientist. He has to be egoless. He has to put his ego to experiment. Again, self is not a thing which can be in any experiment. Because all experiments, all research are in domain of mind only, mind of the scientist. And absolute is out of mind, out of this world, beyond this world. When you are dreaming, how would you know this waking state? You have to break that dream to get into the waking state. Same is happening now. This is waking dream. Unless you are shaken from within, you cannot know the truth. To come out of this dream, we all need grace, and lot of grace. And I would say only grace. Because I have realized that most of the methods actually increases our ego. On this journey to know the truth, I initially picked up yoga and I found yoga teachers full of ego because they can do things which a normal body cannot do. And this word is a word of tricksters. People appreciate any miracle, anything which they can't do. And these teachers get immense popularity, with which comes wealth and everything. Working at bodily level, they never know the truth. And because of all what they gain, they get lost. So, doership, even to know the truth, is a big obstacle. Because you get experiences, you get some occult powers, you get siddhis, and you start claiming that I know this, I got it. And here we lose the plot again. It is like snake and ladder story. You climb up and then you come down. Only thing which saves is grace. Kripa. What Sharanagati has power, nothing else has. The moment you have glimpse, some realization, satori, some revelation, just become humble and surrender and bow down your ego's head. Otherwise, it will come and it will go away. It is very subtle. Know that only self knows self. An individual can never know self. Only when the individual disappears, self is revealed. But to whom? To attain that grace which can reveal the self, remembrance is the key. Keep remembering Absolute. And remember Absolute as you are Absolute. Keep your energy, your attention on your heart as a witness to things and situations. Though it is true, this body, mind, word, everything is coming from the source. Purush and Prakriti, this is all nature. Prakriti is coming from Purusha, that self. Shakti and Shiva. This body is manifestation from that source, but coming from that energy which is playing dynamic. But it is creating illusion that I am separate than you and I am this body. To know truth, we all have to go to the source. There is no other way. We have to come to Shiva. Pure stillness in our heart. Be with that. Remember it. Stay alert and attentive to it. More alert, more awake than your waking state. Not getting attracted by any type of sensory indulgences, because all of them create a stupor, keeps us in illusion. Even if you don't experience any bliss, you stay at the door of your heart. That is tapas. Patience and perseverance. It's the key to open the door of your heart. more you admire your own stillness, more unfolding happens within. Your mind rests in peace, in the revelation of self. And you become empty. And you become this infinite bliss. Of formless substrata, self of all. You are pure stillness. Pure silence. No words to describe. You are beyond words, beyond mind. You are self without any attributes. Pure silence. Go deeper and deeper in your pure seeing. Give away all supports. Merge in absolute. No trace of you is left. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Arunachal Ramanaya. Om.